Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us and taking some of your time. I know it's been a very busy day for you all, but it's a great occasion for you to learn some experience from some insiders, some players, some key players of our industry. So it's great. I want to welcome everybody for this talk. We called it Hemphasize, Hemp and Collaboration. We want to speak about what's behind a material that some have already started using, but also how that can generate new business opportunity, new ways to collaborate and to learn from each other. So it's great now to welcome on stage our friends here. Here we have on my left Rashid Iqbal from Navina Denim Limited, Executive Director. Then we have Christina Ajizu, Design Manager Denim, Tom Tailor. Juliane Novakovsky, Head of Sustainability and Corporate Responsibility, also Tom Tailor. And then we have Denise Drouin, The Flex Company, and Marmara Hemp, President and CEO. And from Lansing, Michael Kinimoff, Business Development Project Management. Okay. Just the introduction is to start speaking about the collaboration. There has been a collaboration. At the center of this, there is an exhibitor of the show of Denim PV, Rashid from NDL. Has collaborated with Tom Tailor, but together with him and together with Tom Tailor, there have been many players. We selected some of them which have played an important role, because we know that collaborating is not just 1 + 1 + 1, but it's +1 because there are 5, but it's much more than 5, because this brings a lot of initiatives, a lot of trial and errors, but also a lot of richness and great experience for everybody, because we are also here to share with you the experience they had. And also at the end of this speech, we want that everybody can speak to each other, learn from each other from this experience that can also bring a richness and a better experience in their business, also for the future, for what the future of the market can be and how our business development can bring to everybody. So I would like to start from Rashid. Rashid, how was this collaboration started? Starting from Hemp, starting from what you did in the past and what you're doing now together with Tom Tailor.
Hi Maria, first of all, thank you so much, and I really appreciate you taking out time to call all the collaborators and talk about our experiences. First of all, about the collection. This is a very special collection. Last year in January, when Christina approached us and she wanted to have a line with hemp and of course something with a soft hand touch. And to that I said, okay, instead of going back and forth and doing number of trials, why don't I use my last year's experience of a collaboration with Lansing company. And last year we did a very interesting project. In that case, Lansing was the designer themselves, and they were the fiber suppliers as well. And it was Genealogy and Andrew Mawson who was designing the fabrics. The end result was very interesting and very much in our control. We knew exactly where we are going to land. I thought that it would be a good idea that we bring all the supply chain members together and have open discussions. Because the first time when I talked to Christina, she had a long list of, she wants this, and hand feel and physicals and right, sustainability, everything has to be, to today's time, a fabric has to be sustainable. That's the minimum requirement. Whatever best practices a mill can put, that's fine. But more than that, she was quite demanding. So I thought it would be a good idea to reach out to the partners and discuss the target, what we have in hand, what kind of challenges we have, and how we can achieve them. See, in these days, just to have a look at one shade or one particular slug character and then you say, no, I don't like it, that's a lot of efforts and money. So we tried to do as less as we can and try to please her as much as we could by going back and forth. So there was a lot of efforts in this collaboration. And we are very, very happy to see that at the end, Christina selected 2 constructions with 2 shades, basically 4 fabrics. And what we ended up doing is making a whole collection, the fabric so versatile, right from jacket all the way to the kids' fabric. So that's the beauty of this collaboration that we have had, and we finally ended up with one of the most interesting collection that we have designed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this telling of the story of since the beginning. Now I would like to know from Tom Tailor, from Christina, and from Juliane, if it was the first time that you started a project which was entirely sustainable, and also how this originated and what is this collection like? Where can we see it? Please tell us more.
I can explain a little bit more. First of all, Tom Tailor is already doing a lot of sustainable products. We were already much entered into organic cotton and better cotton for a long time. We just saw that there are a lot of issues at the moment with cotton fibers, and we all know that, we're all aware of this. We just wanted to find alternatives next to cotton and see what else we can do. So we wanted to create more super fabrics, I would say, that contain a blend of fibers that are sustainable, that are ecological, and they have less footprint, less impact. So we came to this idea of finding a partner where we could trust and that we could have a very good connection, a partner that we know already because we already sourced together. We did a lot of collections in the past and it always worked. So we thought, okay, let's try and make this happen. That's why we started more than a year ago. It was a very slow development with a lot of back and forths, yes, demanding, but the target was to reach to a result that we will be happy as an organization, that we offer a product that we are proud of, and that our customers, our end consumers would understand it and that they would wear it. So also price range wise. So this was the difficult part, because we know that also hemp is not the cheapest fiber, we all know, but it's worth it, because in the end of the day you create something which is good, and we also try and we target to reach to the customers to explain them what is it and why we use it.
Mm-hmm. But when will it appear in the market, and how much will it cost at this point? You spoke about the price. We want to know about it.
Okay, we will deliver the goods in August already this year, and everything is in production. And yeah, the price is very average, so we are around $59.99, so it's very commercial, everything is easygoing. And the 2 fabrics that we have created, the 2 different families that we have, one is much more commercial, a blend with BCI cotton and hemp and lycra, which is more, let's say, mainstream, and it will reach to more mainstream consumers. And then we have a blend with tencel inside, which is a little bit heavier and much more authentic look. And there we target to reach a little bit more fashionable customers, because we also offer more fashionable fits. But all the prices are quite average and easy to reach from any people out there.
Anybody, any consumer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and adding to this, I mean, I'm wearing the jacket already and the pant as well, so you can already see one of the color ranges. But the most important thing is to highlight here, I mean, Christina was pushing internally, I mean, from a Tom Tailor perspective, this topic super well. I mean, we have a sustainability fix, and she always was updating everyone in the team and explaining how good the whole collaboration between the different parties has been. And for me, this is really a great example how good the collaboration between different parties can be. And our goal is to make from an innovation, bring innovations to a new standard. Because I mean, a few years ago, organic cotton has been an innovation, but now it's like the new standard. And for us, the hemp topic should be the same thing. We should integrate hemp in more and more different fabrics and more different product groups as well, if this is possible. So this should be maybe another goal, to include hemp in other fabrics as well.
Okay, thank you. So as we speak now from another fiber perspective, and so let's introduce Denim. Tell us tell us something more about this experience. How was it for you? And also, of course, there are different kinds of hemp. If you want to say something briefly about this, I know it could be raise a discussion, but we also want to know more about this.
Yes, there are. Everybody speaks about hemp. There are many different kind of hemp, and there are some. Basically, hemp is a natural fiber, in any case. But there are some hemp which are more sustainable than the other one, and that's why we started the collaboration with Rachid. We wanted to understand, as most of the brands also didn't know much about hemp, and so we explained, our hemp, the Marmara hemp, basically is difficult to spin because it's a hemp fiber which is not bleached, which is not chemically treated, which is only mechanically treated. So since the fiber is only mechanically treated, the fineness level is lesser, but we have an extremely sustainable fiber. And also Rachid was looking for fibers who got certification. That's what the brands are looking for. So we did the the sustainability certificate. We also did the cradle to cradle certification, and we got the platinum level. Actually, we were running for the gold level, and we got the platinum just before Christmas. So that was really good.
Better.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And also we completed end of last year the LCA. And which is actually, so we are the only hemp fiber having the full LCA done, and when we saw the results, actually our fiber is carbon negative, so that was the very great news, because when we ran it, we didn't know exactly, everybody spoke about the sustainability of hemp, but whenever you make it, you make the LCA, and we found out that basically, to produce 1 ton of cottonized hemp fiber, we produce 1.2 ton of carbon. But in the meantime, our fiber is absorbing 1.7 ton. So we are 0.5 ton carbon negative. So that's the good thing of using, the good hemp. This hemp which is only mechanically treated.
Okay, thank you. Michael, we would like to know something from Lenzing. If Lenzing has already worked together with hemp in the past, and tell us about this experience from your point of view.
Yes, in the past we've worked with different bast fibers. I think many years ago I did many projects on linen, for instance, and I think there's a real good empathy between linen and tencel, and I wanted to replicate that on hemp. We tried to work with bamboo some years ago, and I don't mean bamboo viscose, I mean actually bamboo fiber, but this was a super coarse fiber and not really suitable for textiles. So I was wondering where we were with hemp. I'd heard about cottonized hemp. 2019, I met with my friends at NDL. They'd started to make some fabrics, and I said, well, why don't we do something together? And COVID got in the way, but last year we launched a project that we called Bast Recast, and NDL supplied about 7 base fabrics, indigo and ecru, many blends with tencel, some with modal. And we made a collaboration then, probably one of the best projects I've worked on. Mohsin from Endrime was involved as well. And so that was a very positive experience. That was with a supplier out of China. Subsequently, we've worked with hemp to use hemp as a pulp to spin tencel. So we've made a small production where this is a blend of wood pulp and hemp pulp, and that is also going to go into a denim project. So I think our interest in pulp is quite strong at the moment.
I want to say something which I forgot to say, because I forgot to introduce myself, not because I want to speak about myself, but because I represent Textilwirtschaft. My name is Maria Cristina Pavarini, and I work as a journalist for this amazing magazine. You all know, because it's #1 in Germany. So let's go ahead. let's go ahead with this conversation. And okay, we speak about the past experiences, and we speak about also the new collaboration that has joined together everybody, but also would like to know now, making a treasure out of this experience, what do you see as a future evolution of this for you to capitalize and how to continue? So I would like to know this new set of questions to everybody of you. So Rashid,
yeah,
please.
Maria, like I said, you know, after so much of collaborations and discussions and back and forth mails, what we were able to do is finally come up with just 4 fabrics. So we're talking about reducing our wastages, you know, we're talking about controlling the end result. We were pretty much in control of what Christina was looking for. So the idea really was not just a mere discussion, but to understand what would be the right blend. It's not about having a higher percentage of tencel or higher percentage of hemp. It's the question about having the right percentage. What is the right blend? So we were able to figure that out with all these discussions. So going forward also, I would have open discussions. See, we have already been working with brands one-on-one, more of an isolation thing, but then there is a learning curve. You know, you end up making so many fabrics, which you yourself look at it and say, hey, it's not going to make it. With these kind of open discussions, you exactly know where to land. So that's the best part about the collaboration in this project. So going forward also, I would strongly recommend having open discussions. And we missed out our Genealogia partners because this collection was all waterless or very less water used in the whole, and it has got a very a low EIM score as well. So these were the things that were very strongly considered while designing the construction. So going forward also, we would definitely continue discussing with machine manufacturers. See, the idea comes from Christine, right? What is in her mind? And from there we start reverse engineering, going all the way to the yarn, the blends, the dyeing processes, you know, how we can reduce our EIM score. So all this was possible because of a good collaboration and open discussion. So we would continue doing this for future.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And now, what about Tom Tailor? Will it continue offering these kind of fabrics, including hemp, or more? What did you learn from this experience?
Okay, I mean, we offer these product ranges now in August, in our August collection. But for me, it should be a goal to really integrate these super great, comfy fabrics, for example, into our never out of stock program, or to have it like a really basis in our product offering. I mean, this fabric is really nice, it looks nice, it feels nice, it's sustainable, and why shouldn't we continue using it? For me, it shouldn't be just a one-time shot.
Can I add something here? Because it's not only about creating fabrics, it's also important the way that we create them. So the way that we collaborated with NDL, it was great because there are also other partners. We saw in reality how easy it is to create from scratch something when we usually pick up fabrics randomly from different mills. But when you sit down and you think, what do you need? When you have a standard, and then how you bring it a little bit lower, more to the normal, like to the reality, and then you can see what you can do. This is amazing, actually, because you learn from it, and we all learn how what each business needs, actually. So this was the greatest part for me in the end, and that's why we will keep on doing such projects.
And the sustainability world is moving super fast, we all know it. And maybe, yes, for now this is the right fabric, but maybe we learn also new things during the next weeks, years, months, or whatever. And we should definitely keep on improving the fabrics, keep on improving the partnerships, and maybe also blend it with other fabrics. I mean, the world is super open, and we should definitely not stop to improve ourselves.
Okay, thank you. And what about the Flex company? What will be the future like after this experience, and for the future, maybe new hemp varieties, different thicknesses, or different ways to use the fiber? Can you tell us more about it?
we are just at the beginning of the story. To tell you the truth, when I see the fiber we were producing 3 years back, it was very coarse. We already, improved so much the fiber, and we know that the fiber we are producing today is much coarser than the one we'll be producing in the coming years. So we worked a lot with our partners from the farm. We are working on breeding. We are working on, so many aspects on the growing part. So we know, that it will be easier and easier for the spinners. Because hemp is a coarse fiber, and the magic of spinning, the magic of what NDL has been doing, and this is part of the collaboration. Because if you would see the fiber, when the spinners see the fibers, they say, no, sorry, we can't use this fiber, and that's the very interesting part of the blends. I mean, you take a super sustainable fiber, where no irrigation, no pesticides, no herbicides. There's nothing more sustainable than the hemp which we are producing, but you can't use it like this. So basically, you can only have 20 to 30%, but then you blend it to other fibers, and you just make magic fabric out of a coarse fiber, which is the great thing, and which can only be done thanks to the collaboration we have with the spinner.
Okay, right. And what about lancing?
If I take a macro view here, I do think hemp is going through what I would call a honeymoon period. And if I walk around the show, every mill has hemp. If you ask them why, they're not too sure. Why? Because somebody else has it.
Could be.
And I think just when you're in a position of telling a story about responsible production, some NGO or brand will come up with a reason why it's not. So I think there's many challenges on the sustainability front for sure.
We're ready.
I think just really looking forward, I had to write, many years ago there was a BBC website, and you could put your date of birth in there, and it told you what number of human you were on this planet. So I put my birth date in there, and it calculated that I was the 2,835,178,215th person on Earth. Okay? So about 2.8 billion. Now I find myself, next year, the population of the world will be 8 billion. So since I was born, 3 times as many people on Earth. And those people need feeding, they need food, they're getting richer, they can buy more things. So eventually the dominance of polyester and cotton is not going to fulfill the textile needs. Something has to fill that gap. So there was a theory put forward in the 1980s called the cellulosic gap, and it came up with reasons why polyester, and particularly cotton, will not expand exponentially, and cotton particularly. So something has to fill the gap. And I think the emergence of hemp is exciting. Even if it's only that we'll be able to have a crop growing in the northern hemisphere, we won't have to rely on cotton growing countries for a cellulosic fiber. Having said that, I think there's a long way to go before the industry understands hemp. I don't think there's economy of scale. I think there needs to be a lot of work in collaboration with spinners and weavers, and I think there's a lot of probably what I would call hype that has to be pushed aside. But I think it's positive, and I look towards a future where we can collaborate with other fiber suppliers.
Thank you. It's a great topic you touched, and it was somehow introducing my next question. You stole my idea. Because I would like to ask everybody one last question. I know that you want to celebrate, but really, keep your short and clear answers so everybody can also interact with each other and speak to each other. But I would like to know, what's the future of denim? What's the future of jeans? Do you think that hemp could really mark the future of jeans significantly?
See, as a mill, I think all natural fibers are important. People are going towards natural fibers. Durable denims is the thing that we are particularly interested in, so a pair of jeans could last longer. So coming back to the question of hemp, it's a natural fiber, it's going to be important, it will continue, and I hope we scale it up to a level where the prices are within the reach, and it's all about natural fibers and regenerative fibers.
Okay, thank you. Tom Tailor, what does Tom Tailor think that our two
I believe
friends?
the same. I agree completely with Rashid. I think the future is all the natural fibers and all the alternatives, but also recycled fibers. So it's not only the natural ones, but also the recycled, because we have to recreate from what is already existing. So I think this is definitely the future. And what it refers to the sustainable fibers like bast fibers, as we have discussed, is I think we still have to educate the end consumers. If we want to have a future on that, it's gonna happen only if we explain to the people out there, because the people who are here, everybody knows already, but the people out there, the ones who will buy, they need to know. So I think it should be a little bit more pushed from all sides, so that people will recognize it and go away slowly from all the fibers which are harming and they create higher impact on Earth.
Juliane?
Nothing to add from my side. I mean, she's our denim expert, so definitely mentioning everything.
Thank you. What about Dennis?
Yes, you know, we are producing hemp. We're also producing flax. So we're also selling cottonized flax, and we also launched, last month, the first GRS certified cottonized linen fiber. So we are, I'm proud to announce it here today, and I hope NDL, will use it in their blend. I believe that hemp or flax are part of the solutions. Of course, the cotton industry has many. The denim industry have many solutions with the recycled cotton, recycled fibers. Natural fibers are one of the solutions, probably a little bit more expensive, but we have to make denim more durable so we can afford paying for natural fibers. Hemp or flax will never be as cheap as cotton or as the synthetic fibers, because we have to pay the farmers also, and it has a cost. Sustainability has a cost, and the customers have to know it. That's it.
We have to inform them. Michael?
Looking to the future, well, if we look into a past, I don't know if this is an urban myth, but I'm sure I read somewhere that the first denims were based on hemp. I asked the Levi archivist when I was there last year. They can't find evidence of this, but I'm asking Mohsin to research this deeply, because he'll uncover it if anybody will. For the future, it's the 30th year of Tencel this year, and finally Tencel is cheaper than cotton. And so I would say cotton really doesn't compete in a textile sense. Cotton has bigger competition from other arable crops, and I think that in the long term, the point I was making about population, about fertile land, cotton competes with arable crops. Hemp and wood pulp do not do that. So I think the future for certain cellulosic fibers is strong. I think cellulose is the most abundant natural polymer on Earth. Mankind is going to have to utilize it in many ways, for pharmaceuticals, for fuel, and for textiles. So I think it's important that we work together on collaborations. I think it's still a long road for hemp. I think The farmers have to work out what to do with it, but I think that in the future, I think hemp is probably going to be a much larger part of the industry.
Thank you. Thank you again for your deep thoughts. I don't know if there is anybody from the audience who wants to ask something, clarify something, or want to know something more.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
How much... Hi guys, Morsin from Endrime here. How much cotton is in cottonized hemp?
May I answer?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Moshin. That's the best question. So cottonized hemp actually is 100% hemp. It's just that we bring hemp to the same specs as cotton in terms of length and fineness. So we say cottonized because we bring hemp to the same specs as cotton, but it's cottonized hemp is 100% hemp.
And how do you obtain cottonized hemp?
So basically so the fiber is grown to hemp. It is sown in April. We cut August or September, then we leave the fiber on the field for the retting. So the wood which is inside will separate from the fiber which is on the outskirt of the straw. Then we do a mechanical treatment to separate the part of the fiber from the wood. Then we take this fiber, we do blends, we take from different regions, so we can guarantee the consistency of the fiber month after month. And the cottonizing is purely mechanical. The cottonizing which we do, and this is a kind of carding. So we shorten the fiber, and the idea is to split the fiber to get a finer bundle of fiber, and then it is spinnable, for coarse count. So basically, hemp, as we said, is coarse, but since denim is using very coarse count, this is a perfect market for this fiber.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just like to say one thing to all the guys and girls. Next time you walk into Tom Tailor store and you have a look at these beautiful pair of jeans, please appreciate all the hard work that has gone into this. And that's about it. Thank you so much for it.
So I would say thanks everybody. Whoever wants to speak with our speakers, please be free to talk to them and enjoy the evening with drinks and talks and chat, whatever. Thanks again for joining us and being part of this talk. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.